Hi, I'm Mark Cleghorn, the Training Director for the Photographer Academy, and today we're talking online storage and backup with SmugMug, of course. And for me as a photographer, the most important thing was kind of being secure with my images. I come from the good old days of film and negatives, where basically we had boxes and boxes and boxes and cupboards full of negatives. And if we'd had a flood or a fire, thank goodness we never did, but if we had, we would have been kind of ruined. And one of the things about digital photography, it's allowed photographers to think about multiple backups, and that's absolutely key. It's like having a roll of film and being able to process it 2 or 3 times and put it in different places around the world. And that's what SmugMug does for me. As a photographer, I'm secure at night when I go home because I know my images are being kind of looked after by them. I've got my images in the office when I kind of do all my manipulation originally, but as soon as I can, my images are getting off-site onto storage because I know for my yearly fee, I can store as many JPEGs as I want, as much MPEG film as I want as well, with a few little restrictions on kind of file size and so on. The key thing is think about what you want SmugMug to be for you. For some of you, again, it's just like a show and share. It might be for family photographs, but as for the pro photographers and the really keen photographers, it is about this kind of backup. Now, as far as the files that we can back up online, JPEG is the key thing for me. Obviously, we're processing from a raw file into our JPEG files, so they're fully finished. We'll upload those up into SmugMug, and that's really where our images live, and that's where they're going to be sold from. And it's great to know with that, in fact, wherever I am in the world, if I need an image quickly, I can just jump onto my SmugMug site, go to the gallery where I know they are, kind of download it there and then, and actually do any alterations I need to, and I can email it straight off to the client if it's a commercial kind of shoot or whatever, or I can just re-upload it into the site itself, and it'll kind of overwrite the file, or it'll allow itself to have a duplicate there as well. So as far as the convenience and the usability of it, for me, it's amazing. Video is becoming more and more popular. We use a lot of Animoto video, which basically it makes our stills into a cool, funky kind of slideshow, which they call video. And that produces an MPEG-4 film. Now, if we're storing MPEGs online with SmugMug, we can, but it's a maximum of 3 GB, and the clip length is 20 minutes. So as long as you kind of keep with those kind of confinements, then you can store whatever you want on SmugMug, as much as you want. There's some other options. SmugMug do the Vault, which allows you to secure off-site at an extra fee though, any other files. So your PSDs, your RAW files, TIFFs, you name it, you can kind of store it up there. Even Word documents, you can kind of go offline because it's all through the Amazon S3 environment. And in fact, the SmugMug environment for me was cheaper than actually buying directly through Amazon S3 themselves. So as far as the storage is concerned, at the heart of it, it's the JPEG file as a photographer. It's the MPEG file as far as the video element is concerned. And then if I want storage of any other kind going off-site but still secure, I'm willing to actually pay using the Vault. And during this film, I'm going to be showing the quick kind of ways how you can kind of upload and download as well as kind of ship off towards the Vault as well. But the key thing is management. If you don't have a workflow management, if you don't understand what you're doing with your images, you're basically just going to be moving files from one place to another. And that's the amazing thing we have with new SmugMug, is the ability to use the organizer to really use it like a desktop, move files from one folder to another, move a folder from one folder to another, so we can kind of go 5 folders deep, so we can get real organization now within our SmugMug, especially as far as our backup and storage is concerned. That's it. Let's get into the film and just see how we do it for real. So let's get started with, first of all, uploading some files into SmugMug. I've got a gallery that I've already created here. I'm just going to go up into Organize. And that gallery instantly shows up in front of me. I'm just going to click on the Upload button. And I've got an option here to either click to browse, find images, or drag and drop images just in towards here. I can even use Photoshop Lightroom, to be able to actually upload images without going to this window at all. For me, I'm just going to go grab a folder. And really what I'm looking to demonstrate is how simple the upload process is with SmugMug. And whilst that's uploading, it's a good chance for us to talk about files. Remember, it's JPEG is mainly for stills, but of course it can use static and animated GIFs. We also can actually upload PNG and pretty much any primary video file format as well. So as a photographer, of course, it's going to be usually a JPEG file, or if it's video, it's MPEG. There are restrictions. The JPEG can be up to 50 megabytes in size, and your video can be 3 GB in size, but a maximum of a 20-minute clip length. So let's press done. Now at that point, they've uploaded themselves into this gallery, of course, looking good. Let's just click done.
just to kind of go back into the gallery. Now remember, now this style is in the journal layout style, that's why we're scrolling down. But just below those images, I've got a download option. So at any time if I want to download a file, I can log into my account and just click on the download of that image. That starts to download in this image down here in the bottom left hand corner. And then if I click that open here, that has downloaded the file. Now remember that a file that you upload, if it's a JPEG, is going to be a compression file. When you reopen it up again, it's going to be back to the full size. So whereas that was, say, a 1.6 megabyte file I uploaded, and I still downloaded that 1.6 megabyte file, when we open it up in Photoshop, of course, it reopens, and in this case, it's a 60.3 megabyte file. So remember that a JPEG file is a compression file. So the file that you upload to SmugMug, and then you re-download that file, it's exactly the same file, and when you open it up, of course, it reveals itself to its full glory. In this case, it's back to its 60.3 megabyte. Don't get confused between the file size that you can upload as a maximum to SmugMug, because the JPEG physical size is 50 megabyte, which is absolutely massive. So I can download one at a time, or I can download a whole gallery. And to demonstrate that, let's just say that my hard drive's gone down, or I've lost some files, lost a folder, and I want to download a lot more. Of course, the way to do that is going back up to Organize, and then we're back into the gallery. And then once more, if I just select one image, I could just hit the one download button. Now to download the whole gallery, of course, just by habit, I've clicked it on select all here, but really what I want to do is just download the whole gallery, and as you can see, download single image is grayed out. So then we're kind of given a slight message from SmugMug. Your download is being created. This could take a while depending on the size of the gallery, so you might want to go and make yourself a nice cup of tea. The download links will be displayed here soon when they're ready, and you'll send you a link. But you can see that's the download link. Just let me click onto that now. And as we can see down in the left hand corner, it's starting to download. Now, depending on your internet speed, of course, that could take a long time or a short time. Depends on the file size of your gallery and obviously, of course, your internet speed. Almost there. So that's just downloaded 58.7 megabytes worth of information for me. Then clicking onto that brings me into my downloads folder. Click onto the folder and then extract all to unzip the JPEGs. And there are all the files. So that's a real confidence builder for you and for me, that you know wherever you are in the world or any problems with your computers, you can download your files again and again and again. Now remember, SmugMug is a backup facility for us. It's got our back, it's looking after our files, but we are going to be limited to what we can upload, of course, in the basic format, as I mentioned before. So if I just go to the upload process again, I'm just going to go and get a folder. Now you can see there's another folder in there which has got some raw files in, and also some PSD files, which is Photoshop multi-layered documents. If I drag those in, you can see it's not allowing any of them in at all, because we're only allowed, you know, the JPEG, the GIF files, and the video formats I was on about before, not forgetting those PNGs. But that's only if we don't have the vault. So if you want to use it as a total backup solution for yourself, including raw files, there will be an extra charge by Amazon per month for your storage online if you want to store something other than a JPEG file. To do that, I'm just going to click Done. And I'm just going to click onto the little icon there. Remember, this is our demonstration site. I'm going to click onto Account Settings. And then just go to Me and then Account. And then right at the bottom we've got Smug Vault. Now, it's quite easy to do. Just click onto that. And what you need to do here is just go through the process in setting up an account, and then you'll be able to store anything on the site. Now I've already got a site with that facility in. Let's have a look at that. So this is my full working demonstration site. The one I use on workshops and seminars allows me to kind of delete files without having to worry about them. And again, what we're going to do here is to prove the point that we can upload and store anything. So I'm just going to click onto Organize. This is our folder, just as we saw in the other gallery. Let's go and upload a few photographs first. Just click onto Upload. Let's go and get that load through Bridge for a second. That's Photoshop Bridge. Just going to drag those in. Now you can see here already there's a duplicate file. So if I want to, I've got a choice. I can either allow the duplicates, or I can replace the duplicates, or skip the duplicates, which is the default. The replace duplicates is ideal if I've done some work for it in the likes of Photoshop and I want to re-upload it and so on. In this case I want to use that, so I'm just going to click to replace it, and that send itself up, gone done. So what I couldn't do on the other site was to upload anything other than a JPEG file, of course, obviously the videos as well, but what I want to do here is prove that I can upload pretty much anything. And because I've got the Vault switched on, we're just going back into Bridge for a minute, and let me just drag in straight from Bridge. Let's click into one of the folders here. These are the raw files from the shoot. If I just grab a few of those for a minute and just drag those in, you can see now that it's being allowed to upload, and that's going into my Vault. And if we just go and get that other folder that I tried to upload before, and I drag in those same files again, and you can see here that they're all going to be allowed. Now remember, these are much bigger files. They're going to take a lot more storage, of course, but the key thing to remember that as far as the SmugMug account is concerned, your JPEGs are included. You can upload as much as you want. It's only on the Vault that you're going to be paying any extra for those special files like RAW files, PSD files. Any file that you want really can actually be stored on the Vault, and that's what it's going to look after. So this is another great way to have access to any files off-site as well, just through your SmugMug account. And you can download them anywhere in the world, you know. And they're not only available, but they're secure, of course. So as you can see, there's a couple of huge files here. As I was saying to you before, we were limited with a JPEG size in 50 megabyte. But now, because we've got the facility of the Vault, I can upload as big as I want. And even though they're not a JPEG file, I can upload as big as I want to. And that's a huge file. So as you can see here, we've been allowed to upload those files. As I said, they're huge files. But what we must make sure is not just keep files on our Vault for no reason. So make sure that your workflow is in order. It's good to remember that there's no charge to upload the files to the SmugMug Vault, but there is a small charge on the download process. As far as the cost for the storage, it's running around about 9 cents per gigabyte per month. Basically, if you upload the contents of, say, a 4 gigabyte card, obviously you'd usually do your editing and only upload what you need to, but it'll cost you around about 36 cents for the month for the storage. So around about 4 gigabytes worth of information is about 36 cents. There's a standard $1 monthly recurring charge as well, don't forget that. And data transfer is free. Data transfer out is 12 cents per gigabyte. So whether you're a photographer that wants to back off our site or not, that's really up to you. It's just down to kind of how you organize and your workflow. Speaking about organization, you can see those files they're developing. All different type of files there. They're CR2s and PSDs. Just let me click done. And we'll just go into the gallery, and now we can now see that all the files are showing there. And exactly the same way, if I want to download them, just click on the download. Now remember, the raw files will look different to the JPEG files, of course, because at this point there's no XMP file associated with it. It's just a JPEG that's been processed. There's no fixes or changes being applied to them. Any visitors to your gallery won't be able to see any of the images that are represented by the SmugMug Vault. That's that kind of little image, that safe storage thing, so don't worry about that. They will be able to see, though, any rendered JPEGs that SmugMug make from the files themselves. The visitors will not be able to save the SmugMug files, so don't worry about that, the SmugMug Vault files, I mean, but they will be able to save or print any rendered JPEGs according to the gallery settings for that gallery, of course. So to set yourself up some kind of organization, let's just go into Organize and click into the Mark Clegg Photography. I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call this X Backup, Raw. I'm going to click Create, and within that folder I want to create another folder. Let's call that Wedding 2014. Then click Create. Now, I didn't give any different settings to the folder at that point. It's not too late. I can just click onto the main header folder, clicking into Settings, and then in Security and Privacy, I can just go in and unlist it so it can't be seen without a link. That makes it nice and secure. I I can even put a password onto that big header folder. Now within that folder I've got 2014. Let's create a new folder once more, and we'll call that 2014, the folder itself. Click and create. Now I can just drag the weddings into 2014. The great thing about SmugMug is its organization qualities now. So I can go folders 5 deep. So all I need to do is have 213, 212, 211, so on, and then just stack them all within the backup folder. So within 2014 here, Portraiture specifically, it would be January, February, March, April, so on, and then I would have the clients within their months. That's the way that I would store them. So if we just go into 2014, create one more folder, and just portraits. And it inherits this top folders settings, so it won't be listed at this stage. Clicking into portraits, let's go and create a gallery. I'll just call this test. Upload. Click create. Then just clicking into the gallery, clicking onto upload, and find a folder. Let's once more drop in a raw file. Going to drop in a JPEG as well, perhaps. And let's go and drop in something weird like a PDF file. And that's the power of the Vault, is being able to upload anything you want. JPEGs are stored on the SmugMug site automatically, whereas all the other files are going off to the Vault. You can see why, if you make use of the full SmugMug facility, including the Vault, that you can pretty much go home and sleep easy each night without having to worry about your images, your computers, any worry about fire, theft or corruption, of course. You know that your images are backed up off-site, and all you need to do is be able to download them whenever you want, wherever you are in the world. Now remember that SmugMug is one of the most intelligent websites that we can go in there and build ourselves, change ourselves and control, and without having to wait for the likes of web designers to come in and fix things or upload things or change it for us, being able to actually move on to the next level of style or theme or look. And as far as the uploading and the backup is concerned, that's just common sense and good business practice. So I'm Mark Clegwin for the Photographer Academy. Hope you enjoy this film. See you next time. Bye bye.